The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Monday morning. Already got some people tuned into the show right now over on Instagram, over on the various social media channels, and of course over on Roku with National Stream Sports. Shout outs to our friends over at National Stream Sports. Want to give some love to the One Ass Cheek Three Toes show that I was a part of yesterday. I wish I could have shared that out to people, because we had quite the conversation about the Dallas Cowboys, some of the teams up in the NFC North as well, talking about the Carolina Panthers with my girl Sonia Pearson, and of course the whole crew over there at One Ass Cheek Three Toes, B Skrilla, Jay, and of course Nate the Great. That was a part of that show. It was awesome being a part of that show. Can't wait to be back on there and continue spewing my Dallas Cowboys propaganda. Augustine saying the Tippies. I think what I'm going to do, Augustine, because it's something that I've been, I remember I did it over whenever I was at 1380. Maybe I should bring it back, where I bring back the Tippy Awards for the best teams, and then we send the paper certificate that was made on Canva. We send that out to the teams, and let's see if we can get any of these major league or minor league teams to actually hang up their Tippy Award that they win from us. UTEP never hung up theirs as the greatest college franchise in El Paso, Texas. I think I'm going to bring the Tippy Awards back. But once again, a little bit of love to my people over. I did a lot of shows this week, guys. More than normal. I did 4 this week. I had an issue on Thursday that I wasn't able to get on the show for. But I did a bunch of shows during the week. Did the Wednesday sports show. Did the Prim and Proper Sports on Wednesday as well. Then, of course, doing the Friday with the Fellas with Sonia Pearson. Saturday did Fire and Ice. Shout out to Jim Paul, who is always just a delight to have on the show. I'm doing a documentary on him. I'll talk more about that on Saturday that I'm doing with Jim Paul. But it's always awesome to have Jim Paul join me any chance that I get. My guy Tommy Cananza saying good morning. Also giving a little bit of love to B. Strilla, who's watching over on the YouTube channel as well. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, because it was part of the conversation that happened yesterday, right? And it's kind of a continuance on this, because we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys, the coaching carousel the Dallas Cowboys had this year. Want to give a shout out to my girl Amanda, who tuned in over on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining in to the show. But the conversation that surrounds the Dallas Cowboys seemingly is always about Jerry Jones, right? Like, what is Jerry Jones doing? I'm trying to get myself centered, guys. Sorry. There we go. That's a little more in the center. Actually, now it's not. You can't see all the cool stuff I have behind me. There we go. I guess that's more in the center. But the conversation surrounding the Dallas Cowboys tends to be about Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones as the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. And I've said it a bunch of times too. I feel like at times I am the Dallas Cowboys propaganda machine. I feel like that's the role that I have taken in my fandom now, is I just continue to spew out all the Dallas Cowboys propaganda. Whether I believe it or not, I'm just going to spew it out. And that's not necessarily the case. I tend to think of myself, and maybe y'all can correct me on this, but I tend to think of myself as a rather level-headed Dallas Cowboys fan. Now, obviously, I love the jokes of this team is going to go 0-17, right? I genuinely do not think that the Dallas Cowboys are a winless team. I genuinely don't. That's my hope. I would like them to, but it's because I want them to rebuild. I want them to rebuild. They've never fully committed to a rebuild, and that mindset has left them in purgatory. 9-8, 8-9, right? Like that seems to be where the Dallas Cowboys always reside, is just in that purgatory place. That's why I want 0-17, right? But genuinely, looking at this team with a healthy Dak Prescott, with what they did on defense, I can see yet again another 9-11 win season, right? Like that's what I can see out of the Dallas Cowboys. I believe they'll be a wild card team or on the fringe of making the playoffs. If you ask me, do I think that they'll make the playoffs? I do. I genuinely do. I got to see what they do in the draft. But I genuinely feel that the Dallas Cowboys can make the playoffs. Augustine asking, how much does Jerry Jones pay you? That's not a question we ask people. Just know that whenever he pays me, it makes sure the bills are paid. I am recession-proof. It's too early for that. Too early for 47. Our guy Bistrell saying, you are, Tip. Level-headed. I try to be level-headed. My guy Jaime Pinkman saying, what, level-headed? Not from this side of the screen. How? Saying you just got to still believe. And I think that's what it comes down to. Bistrell saying, oh, no, not 47. It's too early for 47. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here. It's 8:09. I haven't even gotten into double digits in the show as far as minutes go. And I'm already busting out 47. It's going to be a long day, y'all. It's going to be a real long day. But some of the argument that was made yesterday, and I love whenever I can get the perspective of other franchises, right? Like fans from other teams, because again, it brings me back to where I am as a Dallas Cowboys fan. The question was, or I guess the comment was that you need to push back against Jerry Jones, that the coach needs to have the testicular fortitude to push back against Jerry Jones. And my question to that is, what do you push back on, right? Because we can all look at the Dallas Cowboys roster and say, this is a pretty good roster. Even the way they're constructed now, even with the mass exodus of players that they've had now, we feel like they're going to do okay in the draft because the Dallas Cowboys historically have done pretty well in the NFL draft. What is it that you need to push back on Jerry Jones on? Is it because he's constantly down on the field? One of the questions is that Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning or losing. I don't know, or one of the replies was Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning or losing. I know that's not a fact, because how many times have we seen Jerry Jones become a gif, like sour-faced Jerry Jones up in the press box or up in the owner's box in the owner's suite, looking just dejected as all hell, thinking to himself, I'm paying a lot of money for this team to be this bad right now? I don't think Jerry doesn't care about winning and losing. I will say that, yes, he cares about the brand of the Dallas Cowboys. The fact that you can look at that star anywhere in the world and know what it means. I know that means a lot to Jerry Jones. But I don't think it means more than losing. Augustine Pimentel saying, speaking of depression, have you seen the markets today? I have. I woke up and was just slapped across the face with depression. Woof. I'm hopeful. I am an optimistic kind of guy. I know it's weird coming from me that I'm optimistic. I'm an optimistic kind of guy. I'm trying. And then Augustine says this, it means loser for the last 30 years. It means loser for the last 30 years. So let's just bring in all of Jerry Jones's ownership of the Dallas Cowboys, going back to 1989, right? Or 1988. Going back to that time frame. We'll call it 35 years, just to be a nice round number. Are you telling me, as a sports fan, you would not want the 35 years that the Dallas Cowboys have had? Like genuinely. Now, Augustine, as a Patriots fan, I could understand why you wouldn't, right? But think about this. There's been one team, two teams, that have won more Super Bowls in the last 35 years than the Dallas Cowboys. That is a mind-blowing thought process. Tommy, you're saying no. You got the laughing faces and all that stuff. You're saying no, you wouldn't trade places with the Dallas Cowboys. This is including their success early on. This is including the fact that they are still the team that is spoken about more than any other team, any other franchise that's out there. The Detroit Lions, my guys at one ass cheek, three toes, I guarantee you they would trade their last 30 years, 35 years, for the Dallas Cowboys' last 35 years. The San Francisco 49ers, I guarantee you, would trade their last 35 years for the Dallas Cowboys' last 35 years. Not ever drafting number one overall because you weren't ever that bad. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers, right? Like the Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe Green Bay doesn't do it because they've had some success, but they've got 2 Super Bowls in there. Pittsburgh got, 1 Super Bowl in there. Philadelphia, maybe because they've had some success in there, still haven't won as many Super Bowls in the last 35 years as the Dallas Cowboys have. Kansas City, of course you're not trading it. Of course you're not trading that success. New England, of course you're not trading that success. But I assure you, Cleveland would, Cincinnati would, the Rams more than likely would. Well, I guess they got 2 Super Bowls in there. The Cardinals would. Maybe Seattle doesn't, but they've only got the 1 Super Bowl win, right? Like, when you look at that, when you look at it like that, Chicago would. There are multiple teams from every single division that you could look at and say, man, they would love to trade places with the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe not the Giants because of the success they've had. Once again, being the only franchise to win a Super Bowl in every decade since the 80s. But still haven't had the type of success over 35 years that the Dallas Cowboys had. Actually, I take that back. I think they did. Yeah, because they won the Super Bowl there. So they've got 3 Super Bowls in the last 35 years. We got 4 teams that have won 3 Super Bowls in the last 35 years, 4 of them. And the Dallas Cowboys are in there. Now you can come back at me and say, well, the last 30 years, what have they done? They have built that brand to be the most recognizable brand in all of sports, right? That's what they've done. They have built that brand to be the most recognizable brand in all of sports, to be the most valuable franchise in all of sports. We're including the teams in the Premier League where there's a lot of money to be had there. Augustine's saying, yeah, but not the last 20 years, LOL. Okay, so that's always going to be the caveat? Again, I assure you, the island of relevancy that the Dallas Cowboys have, a lot of teams would trade places for. Because at the end of the day, you've still won as many rings as the Dallas Cowboys have. 0. We ran through a dynasty. 2 back-to-back dynasties, and we might even be on the precipice of a 3rd with Philadelphia if they can keep this going. They would love to have traded places with the Dallas Cowboys over that 35-year span. Tommy Canazza saying, oh, okay, yeah, if you're including the Super Bowls, yes. But that's what we have to look at it at. Like if we're going to talk about Jerry Jones, the owner, we have to look at the whole, all of it. 35 years, that means they've won a Super Bowl on the average of every 1.25 years. 1.33 years, I guess, would be the right math on that. That's where we got to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys. Want to give a shout out to my girl Nancy, who tuned in over on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show, The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. We are live on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course on Roku via National Streaming Sports. Shout out to our friends over at National Streaming Sports. Hyman Pinkman saying, I don't have 31 other NFL jackets, just one. I agree with you on that, right? Like it's all about that one team. But I assure you, 27 of the remaining NFL franchises out there would trade places with the Dallas Cowboys for the last 35 years in a heartbeat. You would win. You right now, if I can tell you as a franchise, whether you're the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Bills, any of these other teams, I'll let you win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. And then you'll go 30 years of just irrelevancy. You are taking that trade. Why? Because those rings matter. You would take that trade in a heartbeat. I assure you, you take your fandom out of it and your absolute hatred of the Dallas Cowboys out of it. I assure you, I give you 3 Super Bowls and you spend the next 30 years in irrelevancy, but your franchise is recognized worldwide. You get spoken about on ESPN all the time just because we know the second we say the words Dallas Cowboys, people are going to tune in because they either love you or they hate you. I assure you, 27 franchises out there in a heartbeat are trading places with the Dallas Cowboys. Augustine Pimentel going back over to the comment section saying, but they also build that brand as a sorry brand, a loser brand. That's a very 47-ish way of looking at it, right? Like, it's such a loser. They're losers. Look at that, they're losers. How? The most valuable franchise in sports, a 5-time Super Bowl champion, just like Booker T. You can look at it, 5-time WCW champion. Got to bust out the Spinaroonie right now. That's such an old reference. I don't think anyone's going to get that. Holy hell. I am an old man. Again, The franchise that has the highest win percentage in the NFL, despite how bad they've been for the last 30 years. You can say they're a loser because they haven't won a ring. There's a lot of losers out there that haven't won rings. Would you call Charles Barkley a loser? Would you call Patrick Ewing a loser? People like that. Are they losers because they haven't won rings? What is the island of relevancy? What dictates being a loser? Because you can say, okay, they haven't won a championship in 30 years. That's fine. They still have the highest win percentage in the NFL, in NFL history. What constitutes being a loser? It's such a myopic view that I expect better, Augustine. I genuinely expect better. Augustine saying, it's always about what have you done for me recently in sports. Cowboys fans are starting to sound like Miners fans back in 1966. But that's every team. Why is it that it's always just pointed right at the Dallas Cowboys? How come we're not talking about San Francisco? The end game isn't just make it to the Super Bowl, it's win the damn Super Bowl. If you haven't done it, why is it just pointed at the Dallas Cowboys? You haven't done it. There's a reason why, Augustine, right? We know what the reason is. It's because the island of relevancy is the Dallas Cowboys. Much like the tribal chief, you have to acknowledge them. That's a more recent wrestling reference. I had to get that out there. Augustine saying, because we all hate Dallas, LOL. That's exactly what it is. It all comes down to the hatred of the Dallas Cowboys. Oli Arena saying, good morning to you, Oli. Hope you are having a fantastic day here. Also greeting me with, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day as well. But that's where it comes down to, right? Like, why isn't it pointed at the Bears, who are going on a 40-year drought of Super Bowl championships? Why isn't it pointed at the Raiders, who are going on a, 43-year drought now of irrelevancy? Again, just being so bad. Sure, you made the Super Bowl in 2000 or whatever it was. What'd you do after that? We don't care about the losers of the Super Bowl. You can make it to the Super Bowl all you want. If you're going to lose historic like the Buffalo Bills, so that way we can at least talk to you about it. B. Strilla saying, actually, Tip, the Ravens have a higher win percentage by .001. Damn it. Everything I said out the window now. Fuck. We almost had him. Damn you, Baltimore. Much like Chris Jericho. You know what, Baltimore? You just made the list. I'm going wrestling references today. I guess WrestleMania right around the corner. That's what I'm waiting for. I love me some WrestleMania. I believe it's this weekend. So I got to make sure that I'm watching WrestleMania. Maybe I have a wrestling recap show. Bob, Jim, and Pat getting drunk on the internet for WrestleMania. Oh, but they're actually having... So, guys, I very rarely talk about my friends over at ESPN. They are going to have a WrestleMania ESPN special. I will find the details on that. I love whenever my guys, Pat Costello and James Steele, are able to work together on some amazing content, and I can't wait to see what they do with this WrestleMania show. More details as we get closer to the Mania extravaganza. Hey, we're still top 2. I'm saying we're 1A. If it's 0.001%, I'm saying we're still 1A. I'm keeping it that way. But that's what it comes down to, right? Like, if we're going to talk about Jerry Jones, we have to talk about the entire run of the Dallas Cowboys under Jerry Jones. You have to include those 3 Super Bowl wins. Those 3 Super Bowl wins don't necessarily just evaporate because the Dallas Cowboys haven't been good. We still talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers being this amazing franchise because of their 5 Super Bowl wins. Well, hell, it's been 20 years. Or I guess 6 Super Bowl wins. It's been almost 20 years now for them, right? Like, time moves. It's always going to move. Why is the line of demarcation just simply the Dallas Cowboys when it shouldn't just be the Dallas Cowboys? We're going to talk about relevancy and irrelevancy. Does it matter that San Francisco made it to the Super Bowl? That they just simply made it there? I don't think so. Shout out to Fat Irish and Eki who tuned in over on Instagram. So much thanks to y'all tuning in over on the Instagram feed. Remember, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Mr. Tipton33. Jose Angel, I see you liking the feed over on X. I was going to call it Twitter, but I got to get used to calling it X, formerly known as Twitter, if we're going to go with the full name. I hate whenever I'm listening to my AirPods and it'll be like, someone sent you a link from X, formerly known as Twitter. Like, just either call it Twitter or call it X. Don't give me the formerly known as or the symbol formerly known as Prince. We're not doing that stuff here. It's 2025. Get your name right. I'm not the artist formerly known as Tip. I guess I'm the artist currently known as Tip. Checking the comment section. Nothing new in the comment section. Our guy B. Strilla saying, hey, I can get with that. Hey, I'm good with that, man. I'm glad that you can get with it. I'm glad that I'm not alone on an island here with the Cowboys being 1A. Man, that really makes me mad now. Baltimore. I hope Baltimore loses one more game than the Dallas Cowboys so we can get back to our great win percentage. We've been a franchise longer than Baltimore. You know what they should do with Baltimore? With Baltimore, they should give them the old Cleveland Browns. Like you got to look at the whole franchise. Give them the Cleveland Browns from the 1990s and 80s. Give that to Baltimore. Let's see what that does with their all-time win percentage. Those jerks. I'm pretty sure that's what they do. And this is according to Pro Football Reference. I'm always down with Pro Football Reference. I love me some Pro Football Reference. It's one of my favorite pages, Pro Football Reference. Okay, so that was the conversation, and it got me going. I don't know what it was. It got me going. I wish that I had more time yesterday, that I could have hung out with B. Strilla, with Nate the Great, and with Jay, just to be able to continue this conversation. Tommy Cadon's saying the Ravens weren't around all of that 35 years, so they don't count. You know what, Tommy? I'm with you on that. We're taking it back. Your franchise had to have existed in 1995. Then we lose the Panthers, the Jags, the new version of the Browns, and the Houston Texans. And you know what? I'm good with that. I am good with that. And saying, yep, Nate does that. If y'all get a chance, you got to tune in. B. Strilla, is it every Sunday? Like, how often do y'all do the one ass cheek, three toes show? These Lions fans, man, I'm glad to see. I think this is one of the things that makes me so happy about being affiliated with National Streaming Sports is all the different fan bases that are out there. And I feel like I am the lone Dallas Cowboys propaganda machine. So I have to just hit it hard. Just hit it hard as possible. Augustine asked me, how much does Jerry Jones pay you for you to be the propaganda machine for the Dallas Cowboys? He pays me in hope. I should start asking for a paycheck. Augustine saying, it's not that we hate the Dallas Cowboys. It's fun to mess with the fans. They are so blah. But then it comes down, like this is following right after this. It's because we hate Dallas. Well, we don't hate them. We hate them, but we don't hate them. I mean, you know, it's a little bit of hate. What's a little bit of hate amongst friends? I don't know about that, Jim. That's my terrible Tony Romo impersonation. I don't know, Jim. And saying, here's a Pro Football Reference. It's not the team, it's the fans. But it is the team, because without the team, the fans don't exist, my guy. So, I mean, that's like being like, oh, it's not Liverpool, it's their fans. Well, if Liverpool didn't exist, neither would their fan base. So therefore, it has to be, it's a symbiotic relationship. One is there because of the other. They need it. The Dallas Cowboys are the remora fish of sports fandom. Augustine saying, you're not alone, Tip. I'm always with you. That's my guy. Got nothing but love for you, my dude. I appreciate that. Be sure to let me know that the One Ass Cheek Three Toe Show every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, every day at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Huddle Sports Network. I've got to learn more about this Huddle Sports Network, because I see that you do stuff with them. I see that Sonya does stuff with them. I got to see. Maybe they got time. Maybe they got time for some tip. Maybe it's tippy time. I got to cut it out with the wrestling references, because I have no idea who actually gets what the hell I'm doing. Yes, boy. I'm doing a show just for myself. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I trimmed up the beard yesterday. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm sounding good. Sexy as hell right now. I'm sorry, guys. Augustine saying Liverpool is the most awesome franchise ever. But yeah, which are worse, Cowboys or Yankees fans? At least Yankees win. As someone who represents both, I don't think either fan base is annoying, right? And again, we're looking at what, 15 years, 16 years since the last time the Yankees won. So is the line of demarcation every 15 years? Is that what it is now, Augustine? The Yankees win a lot, but it's been 15 years for them. The majority of their championships come from the past. I'm one of these people, like, I just talk about the championships I have been blessed to see, right? I've seen 5 from the Yankees. I've seen 5 from my San Antonio Spurs. I've seen 3 from my Dallas Cowboys. I've seen 1 from my Vegas Golden Knights. Shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights. As far as college championships go, I've got a big-ass donut, because Texas Tech ain't done nothing. UTEP ain't done nothing. And as much as I like Carolina, I'm not going to say that I'm a Carolina fan, right? Like, I just love Carolina. I don't include their championships in my, pantheon of success. The team that I cheer for and root for all the time, that team right there, hashtag Wreck'em Tech. Suns up, guns up, baby. But I don't think you can say the Yankees necessarily have an annoying fan base. Like, that's a weird one for me. Like, if it's baseball, I'd say it's more Dodgers right now would be the annoying fan base. Augustine, don't confuse me with Augustine, Tip. I take it back. You're alone now. Did I call you Augustine? I'm sorry, Tommy. I didn't mean to do that. That's the greatest insult of all time. I can't believe. Tommy, I'm taking it back. You do not look anything like Auguste Ferratu. Nothing like him at all. You are a handsome, handsome man, while Augustine is Auguste Ferratu and will always be Auguste Ferratu. I think I have the imaging for that still. One ass cheek, 3 toes saying just the tip with Mike Tipton. That's actually been a thing here. Let me see if I still have it. I think I do, guys. I got to look it up here. Let me see what this is. Well, it says just the tip tease. So I got it. Like, I've got all kinds of imaging for the just the tip stuff. Man. I will send you, Bistrilla. I will send you, like, I had audio stuff, everything like that. The show that I did. So this is my 10th year of podcasting, 10th year of doing radio stuff. Wow, that's insane to think about that. And I started. You say was, it still is a thing. I mean, if I wasn't on camera right now, maybe I'll do this. Can I do it? I don't think I can right now. I have to find some stuff to plug some stuff in, and I cannot do it right now because I know I have it on my laptop. But yes, it was a thing. The show that I did where I was just by myself doing this, it was always just the tip. Always just the tip. Anytime you see me by myself, solamente el puntote, just the tip. Bistril saying championships for him as a fan: Lions 0, Pistons 3, Red Wings 4, Tigers 1. And I love that, man, right? Like, I love being able to talk to, like, my friends about, like, their championship teams. I guess if we want to add, I was the producer for the El Paso Chihuahuas radio broadcast whenever they won their championship. Is that a championship for me as well? I got a ring. I was going back to see if Augustine had replied yet. It's, nothing from Augustine yet. But that's fine, Augustine. It's cool. I'm down with it. I'm just hurt a little bit. You're just trying to call out my fan base, my fandom, everything about it. The beautiful Marlene Salcedo saying, "Sup, little daddies." Just because I'm a short king at 5'10" doesn't mean you can call me little daddy. Although I do kind of enjoy that phrase, but you're not the first one to call me that. That's actually Augustine was the first one to call me that. Maybe today's the day I get canceled, guys. I don't know. let's see how it goes. I'm really wanting to play the Just the Tip stuff for you, Beastrilla. Like I said, I'll find it. Well, I think I have it here on my phone. Let me see if I can maybe get my phone up to the microphone because it's going to bother me. Here we go. I'll turn this up. Let's see if we can actually hear it.
It's time for Just the Tip. That would make me uncomfortable. Promise that ain't too much, but just enough. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip. It's time for Just the Tip.
There we go. So I'll send you the better file at another time. That way you can listen to it. But yes, the Just the Tip thing was a real thing for quite some time, my guy. Quite some time. I'll have to see how well that actually played out. Maybe I have it actually on my board now that I think about it. But nonetheless. And that's me. Like, I'm doing all the sound production there. Shout out to my girl Patricia Valencia. Tommy, you hit it right on the top of the head. It sounds like a porn intro. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I was going for. I will find a way. Maybe hold on. The riveting stuff. Well, no, I've got to be able to do it off my laptop. I don't have my laptop here with me. Sorry, guys. I'll find a way. I will find a way. That way you can hear the actual clean audio of all of that stuff. That's where I love doing that stuff. Audio production, video production, that's my wheelhouse. I love being able to do any kinds of that stuff. So shout out to you, Beastrilla, for recognizing the Just the Tip intro. I'll wear the shirt tomorrow. I will wear the shirt tomorrow in honor of you, Beastrilla. Marlene Salcedo saying she loves that. I'm glad you do. Tommy Carranza saying his Mavericks, he saw 1 championship, 4 from the Red Sox, 3 from the Cowboys, 1 from OU. Those are the ones that he's seen. And I think about that, right? Like, I know I am a spoiled sports fan. I know because of how much I've won. And I get it all the time, like, oh, you're a bandwagon sports fan, blah, 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 blah. I genuinely don't think that that's the case, that I'm a bandwagon sports fan. If that was the case, I wouldn't let the Dallas Cowboys abuse me the way that the Dallas Cowboys abuse me. I'd have found a new team by now. And the same thing with the Yankees, right? And the same thing with the Spurs getting the number 1 overall pick. Like, they've been some bad years, obviously surrounded by some really, really good years in between, but there were some pretty bad years for the Dallas or for the San Antonio Spurs there for a little bit. Like, they've been some bad years. Didn't realize that I had my phone that loud. Wanted to check in on one of the streams, make sure it was good, because someone sent me a message right now saying it wasn't good, but it is good. You can hear me right now. Maybe it was while I was playing the Just the Tip intro. Oh, man. I think what I'm going to do now is I'll have a segment maybe once a week, because that intro is too damn good. It's too damn good to just have on the shelf. I'm going to have to create like a video to go along with the intro. So maybe someone can help me out with some ideas, some, borderline, we'll call it soft XXX ideas that we can put into the Just the Tip. That wasn't a good phrase. That we can add to the Just the Tip intro whenever I do the weekly segment here on the show. And then I have to find out, like, more or less what I would do with the Just the Tip intro on the show, like what that part of the segment would be. Maybe we do that every Monday. That's how we start the week. It's Just the Tip, baby. One day I'll grow up. One day. Not today. One day. And I don't think I will. I'll always be a Toys R Us kid. Marlene saying, you got the show, just the tip of the microphone. It's right here. You can see it just right here. Just the tip. Gary tuning into today's show saying, good morning, Tip. Good morning, TC. Shout out to you, Gary. Hope that you are doing well over there in Tennessee. Hope everything is going well for you, my guy. I feel bad for him because that's the conversation that he walks into. That was his introduction to the show today, was us talking about just the tip. Tommy Kanata giving his salutations to Marlene and to Gary as well. So yesterday, UCONN wins their 12th national championship under Gino Auriemma in women's college basketball. A lot of people picking against UCONN in that game. South Carolina, Dawn Staley, all of them. Like, what a great season. What a great legacy that Dawn Staley is building over in South Carolina. But you have to feel good for Gino and UConn watching them win yet again another national championship. And it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where yes, you can get tired of all the success that a team has had. But do you get tired of watching a team go through a ton of adversity? And I know it's not, typical adversity or anything like that whenever you talk about UConn, but no one had them winning national. So many people out there were saying like their time was done, right? Like your time is up, my time is now. B. Strilla saying he loves him some Dawn Staley. We'll put it out there, Dawn Staley. If you need a shoulder to cry on, you just need someone to talk to. My guy, B. Strilla, he will be that shoulder for you anytime you need it. Anytime you need it, girl, he's got you. Just hit him up. It'll not only would it make you feel better, you would also be helping him out as well. Not going to say that. That was going to be bad. I got you, my guy. I got you. We're going to make this dream come true. We're all about making dreams come true here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. We are live on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on YouTube. We are all over the place. Probably too many places, if I'm being honest. Don't no one want to see me everywhere. Too bad, though, nerds. You got me. The NCAA National Championship game is today. So many people are going to be watching that. Duke choking. Sorry, just keep getting some comments over here. Want to go to that one because I think it's on the show. Mireya Reyes saying that was my intro to the show as well. I am sorry, guys. I am sorry. Oh, man, the amount of people that must have tuned in and that's what they got was just the tip. The just the tip conversation. I'm good with it. One ass cheek, three toes. My dude B. Shrill saying he's got Houston winning the national championship today over Florida. Florida beating Auburn to get to the national championship. It was cool seeing Charles Barkley, going over there, giving a little bit of love, dapping up all of the Auburn players and coaching staff after they lost to Florida. Gary saying he was so glad that Puke lost. I'm glad with it too. I do not like Duke. I am a Carolina supporter. Marlene saying at least they got a sexy intro. You know what they did? 100% they did. I think whenever I do just the tip, I'm going to speak in this is the regular voice. I try to do this voice because I realize that if I talk in this voice all the time, it's very monotone and it's not something that is going to be necessarily conducive to an 8 o'clock in the morning radio show. So I have to talk like this just to try to get all y'all into what it is that I'm doing, right? Little bit of energy. That's all it is. Just a change in energy. But whenever just the tip comes on, it's just got to be full on sexy, baby. That's just what it's going to be. Like the bass, if you're listening to this in your car, the bass in your car is just going to explode. Love explosion. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Tommy Cananza saying Florida versus Houston. That's why I don't do brackets. I wanted to pick either of those teams to even make it to the Sweet 16. I don't do college basketball. I had Florida, or no, I had Houston in the Final Four. I had Duke in the Final Four. So I got two of them. I just didn't have Houston beating Duke. There was something about it. Gary's saying that he thinks Florida wins it. It's going to be a tough ask for Houston to perform well after that big Duke win. By the way, Duke gets away with a lot of stuff during the games. Yeah, Duke does get away with a lot of, like, it was chippy, right? The one thing that I would say about Houston is defense travels, right? This is a defensive team that travels. Mireya Reyes saying, holy moly, and now back to basketball. Please just get back to basketball. Marlene Salcedo saying, my volume is up. Tommy Cananza saying, I was confused. I thought I might have left my P-Hub tab playing in the background. What's funny about that is P-Hub not allowed in the state of Texas. Hate it here. My forearms are so weak right now. Okay, I've got to get this show back. I don't have anyone to blame but myself. I'm the one doing this. Marlene Salcedo saying, you know the job. Of course I do. Of course I know the job. It was a real thing. Y'all have to remember, I did have an OF for a little while. Successful at it. Houston versus Florida. I'm taking Houston tonight. There's something about I love Florida's offense, but again, defense travels. And the defense that Houston has, man, that's a good defense. I would not have seen them doing what they did to Duke. We got to remember, Duke was averaging, putting up 90 points on basically everybody. Houston was able to slow down that offense, and Duke's offense was amazing. The only difference between Duke and Florida is the fact that Duke is a lot more consistent than Florida is. I do agree with Gary that it's going to be hard for these kids to not be on that high, right? To not just rest on the laurels of we beat Duke, we beat the number 1 overall seed. Maybe we're just good to go here, and actually have the motivation to come out and put the clamps on Florida. But man, I just want to see another Texas team win it. Like, again, I'm an annoying Texan. I got no problem admitting that I am an annoying Texan. So I got Houston winning this one. Tommy Cananza saying, can I borrow that intro for my OnlyFans tip? Gary saying, chicka chicka bow wow tip with the OF account. It's too early for this. It is too early for this. But you know what it's never too early for? Visiting www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton. Save up to 15%, guys, on all of your male grooming needs. www.myhappynuts.com. I love the comfort cream. You get it on there. You don't got to worry about the duck butter or anything else like that. You got a nice, fresh sensation. www.myhappynuts.com. Mireya Reyes saying defense wins games, especially in basketball. It takes skill and endurance. Exactly. And that's the one thing that I say with basketball, right? Is that with Houston, the defense is going to travel. But are you going to make your shots? Because there are going to be stretches where you got to go basket for basket, bucket for bucket with Florida. And Florida does have a very explosive offense. What version of Florida are we going to get? Are we going to get the Florida that struggled against Texas Tech and had to have an amazing comeback to beat Texas Tech? Or are we going to get the Florida that handled Auburn and handled their business, right? Both of these teams, I think there's a lot of questions that surround them. Houston beating Duke. What's the letdown going to be right there? But I agree that you have to know that defense is going to travel. I know Houston's defense is going to do it, but is their offense going to be able to perform where they need them to get? Our guy Bistril saying number 1 in points per game against and number 1 in field goal percentage against. Gary saying that was a nice segue. Tommy Canazza saying nice, from just the tip to happy nuts. Hey, you got to make sure you're taking care of all of it, baby. All of it. Nothing left behind. Bistrilla giving a little bit of love to Tommy on that joke. It was a good joke, Tommy. That was great. That was great. Just the tip usually leads to happy nuts, I guess. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, y'all. 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, I did get the nickname whenever I was at Seymour Johnson. I love the fact that Just the Tip was stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. It's one of my favorite things. Maybe what I got to do is like I do have pictures of me like on the flight line looking like a full-on superhero. I just need to get like that silhouette where it's Just the Tip, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Man. I am just realizing here at 41 years old, maybe I'm extremely immature, guys. Maybe I am extremely immature. I have to apologize to people that are out there that were expecting more. Just like they were from Morehead City. Gary, we're teeing it up. We're knocking it out of the park, buddy. We're just knocking this one out. Yes, that was a real name of a city right next to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. So again, I've got Houston. Marlene Salcedo, we're just going to keep this conversation going, I guess. Marlene Salcedo saying, so, do you Seymour Johnson or just the tip? It depends on the weather, how cold it is, right? If you're a grower or a shower, it just basically depends on that. Bistrilla saying, hey, I'm 55 and I am too. Marlene getting some love in the comment section as well for the jokes that are going on right here. You know what, guys? I am with it. I am here for the entire conversation. Once again, it just all depends on the weather, how much you get to Seymour Johnson. Okay, so I've got Houston winning the national championship tonight. I think it's going to be great. It's a great. I thought this NCAA tournament, now granted, we didn't have the long Cinderella story runs, but I thought that this NCAA tournament was great. It was a fantastic NCAA tournament. You have some upsets in there. I don't know if you can call it an upset whenever you got a number one upset and a number one, but man, it just feels like it was such a great tournament. Like everything that the college football playoff was, this showed the right way of doing it, right? And the college football playoff to me left so much to be desired. It always does. It seemingly always does leave a lot to be desired. But the NCAA tournament, no matter what you think, like you can look at this bracket, you can look at everything, and you can say to yourself, this was done right. Every single year, it was done right. And this is the reason why I stand by what I've said this whole time, that the NCAA college football, at least, needs to create just a top 25 bracket for the college football playoff. Just the top 25 that are in there, bye weeks to whoever it needs to be, and just go off that top 25. If you're not good enough to be in the top 25, you don't even need to be in the conversation. No more of the weird, you win this division, whatever, right? If you win the season as like the number 1, number 2, number 3, it's just that's who gets the buys, right? You can have a couple of play-ins, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I have the bracket that I created. We'll get that going. Where they get to be played at, all the bowls, all that type of stuff. But the thing is that if you go to the NCAA style bracket for college football, you start messing with and you start losing some of the smaller schools getting the payday at the that they try to get from the bowl games. That's just what you lose. A little bit of that heart is what you lose if you go to an NCAA bracket style college football playoff. I'm here for it because I don't want to watch Seymour Johnson State University take on just the Tip State University as well. I want to watch the good teams actually play football at a high level. No one cares about Charleston Christian University. Nobody cares about the University of Texas at El Paso. Nobody cares about the teams that are not in the top 25. You know how I know? Because I've seen the games on ESPN. I've worked some of the games at ESPN, and you see nobody in the crowd for the Bahamas Bowl. It's the effing Bahamas, and there's like 500 people there. That's how I know people don't care about the tertiary bowl games from these, barely in college football schools. Let's make it an NCAA tournament style bracket. The top 25 get a chance at winning the championship, and we are good to go. Tommy Cananza giving us the cold with the little emoji. And he's asking, when did OU lose? OU lost, I want to say, in the second round. So in the 32 is when they lost. Marlene and Tommy Cananza are on a roll. B. Strilla, are you not entertained? Yes, I am. Mike peeping the comments and trying to remain professional for Roku. Every now and again, I have to be just a little professional. Sometimes we can say it's just the tip of my professionalism. All right, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Have a great day, y'all. I appreciate the love and the support. Hundreds of betting sites out there, but don't be fooled. Some sites are legal in some states only. Some sites pay in Bitcoin, and some sites have even been hacked. However, BetUS has been in business for over 30 years. They have future bets that are paying out in the thousands, and there's still time for you to bet on the Super Bowl, the National Championship, and even the NBA Championship. Just use the QR code right here, and it will take you to the BetUS site. BetUS. Check it out and bet responsibly. Are you a fellow car guy? I have a 2008 Ford Mustang GT convertible, and nothing makes me happier in that car than when it's nice and clean. And you know who helps me get there? RevAutoCarCare.com. They help me get that pony looking as nice and shiny and ready for any of the car meetups that are all around the great city of El Paso. Spoil your car and go to RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton and view all the inventory they have and find out what works for you to help make your ride shine. RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton. Use promo code Tipton33 at checkout to save 15%.